Did you know that the humble 1971 Lincoln penny you might have tossed aside could hold secrets worth hundreds or even thousands? This forgotten copper cent hides rare mint errors, historical twists, and a legacy that changed the way collectors hunt for American coins. Stay tuned, because in this video, we are going to uncover every tiny detail that turns an ordinary 1971 penny into a hidden treasure. The story of the 1971 one penny begins with the ever-recognizable Lincoln cent that has circulated in American hands since 1909, the year when the United States Mint first honored President Abraham Lincoln on the penny. This marked the first time in American history that a real person appeared on regular circulating U.S. coinage. Until then, the designs mostly featured Lady Liberty eagles or symbolic figures. But by 1971, the Lincoln penny had evolved through several design shifts, metal composition changes, and public controversies that defined the nation's changing economic landscape. When you hold a 1971 Lincoln cent, you hold a tiny time capsule that reflects not only the economic turbulence of the early 70s, but also the technological strides in minting and engraving that shaped the modern era. The obverse of the 1971 penny still bears the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, his initials VDB, which sparked debate when the coin first debuted in 1909, had long been accepted by 1971. Collectors know the subtle differences in these coins can mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. Take the mint marks, for example. In 1971, the penny was struck in 3 locations. Philadelphia, which produced coins without a mint mark; Denver, which used the small D below the date; and San Francisco, which minted the proof coins bearing the elegant S mint mark. Each mint produced millions. But what makes the 1971 penny so fascinating is the hidden varieties that collectors crave. The Denver Mint in particular saw some striking issues that year. The 1971 D penny is famous for double die obverse varieties, which means the die used to stamp the coins was misaligned just enough to create a doubling effect on the date or the motto. In God We Trust. Collectors scour these coins under magnifying glasses, searching for strong doubling around the letters and the date, which can elevate the value of a single penny. Exponentially, the proof coins from San Francisco tell their own tale in 1971. The Mint struck special collector sets known as proof sets. These were highly polished, carefully handled coins designed for numismatists, and these coins show stunning mirror-like fields and frosted devices, but errors slip through even in proof coins. The 1971 S penny has an infamous double die obverse variety that commands respect among serious collectors. This doubling can be seen on Liberty and the motto. And if you ever come across a proof penny with this rare doubling, you hold a coin that could be worth hundreds or more. Depending on condition, the metal composition is another key chapter in this history. By 1971, the penny still consisted mostly of copper, specifically 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It would not be until 1982 that the mint shifted to copper-plated zinc to cut costs, because copper prices rose so high that the metal value of the penny threatened to exceed its face value. Holding a 1971 penny means holding genuine copper from an era before this dramatic shift. Another interesting angle is the broader economic context. The early 70s were marked by inflation, a weakening dollar, and looming changes in American coinage. The removal of silver from quarters and dimes had already happened in 1965, so the humble penny became an even more important symbol of everyday commerce. Americans debated whether the penny should be eliminated altogether because production costs were rising. The debate continues to this day, but the 1971 penny stands as a bridge between old and new. The penny also connects us to the legacy of coin collecting itself, which blossomed in the 20th century when people began to realize that these tiny discs of metal could hold vast historical significance. Families would pass down jars of pennies, searching for wheatbacks, steel cents from 1943, or key date rarities like the 1909 SVDB, the 1971 penny, though not a key date in itself, can become extraordinarily valuable when errors come into play. Even coins with simple off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or unusual planche flaws can turn up in circulation and spark the dreams of novice collectors. The minting process in 1971 was still evolving. Technology-wise, the die preparation and hubbing process often resulted in minor imperfections that today's advanced collectors track with obsessive detail. Doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and other varieties are cataloged in specialized references like the cherry. Picker's Guide and these coins often fetch record prices at auction. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors searching through rolls of pennies to this day, and the 1971 penny remains one of the more interesting dates to hunt. Another point that fuels collector passion is the condition the Sheldon scale grades coins from poor to perfect MS-70, and a 1971 penny in gem mint state with full red luster is far more valuable than a worn coin that has passed through thousands of hands. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC provide authentication and preservation, giving collectors confidence that their penny is genuine and graded fairly. This grading has transformed the hobby into a serious investment market. The legacy of the Lincoln penny itself is inseparable from the 1971 issue. Every penny is a link in a chain that spans over a century, reflecting the American story, our struggles, our triumphs, our advances in industry, and the simple fact that something so small can carry such weight. Numismatics, the study of coins, teaches us patience, attention to detail, and respect for the past. Every detail on the 1971 penny, from the fine lines of Lincoln's beard to the delicate lettering, tells a story of master engravers, diligent mint workers, and the millions of ordinary Americans who passed these coins from pocket to pocket, generation after generation. So when you come across a 1971 penny, take a closer look. Examine it under good light check for doubling on the obverse study. The mint mark, inspect the fields for unusual blemishes or striking errors. You never know when a single copper cent might reveal itself to be a prized rarity, worth far more than its face value. This is the hidden magic of coin collecting. It connects us to history, to our shared economy, and to a community of treasure hunters who know that the next great find could be just a penny away. As you explore the world of rare American coins, remember that knowledge is your greatest tool. Learn the varieties, study the minting history, and stay curious, because the story of the 1971 penny is more than just copper and zinc. It is a piece of America in your pocket waiting to be discovered again and again by those who look close enough. Unlock the secret story hidden inside a simple 1987 1 dirham coin, a journey of lost empires, secret trades, rare mint marks, and collectors who pay thousands for a single coin. Discover how this small piece of metal became a treasure in the world of rare American coins. The story of the 1 dirham 1987 coin starts far away from where most people imagine a small silver-colored coin that traveled through hands, pockets, and nations, its roots going back to ancient trade routes where the dirham was more than just currency. It was a symbol of trade, trust, and power. The modern 1 dirham is a continuation of that heritage, minted in 1987 during a period of economic expansion and cultural preservation. The coin was struck with precision-carrying symbols that link it to its Arabian and Islamic heritage. The word dirham itself comes from the Greek drachma, showing how ancient influences flowed into Arab culture. The 1987 1 dirham is primarily associated with the United Arab Emirates, but its connection to American collectors comes through the fascinating world of error coins, misstruck pieces and coins that slipped into circulation through overseas workers, travelers, and collectors. The coin shows the image of a traditional Arabic coffee pot known as a dala, which is an iconic representation of hospitality and culture. It sits on the obverse while the reverse holds inscriptions in Arabic script with the denomination and year both in Arabic and Gregorian calendar. The metal composition is typically cupronickel and alloy that gives it durability and a distinct silver hue. The 1987 mintage was part of a series that saw variations in the sharpness of strike die rotations and edge reading. These minor differences are what make coin collectors so fascinated by it. The coin might look common but subtle. Mint errors like off-center strikes doubled. Dies or clipped planchets can increase its value significantly in the American rare coin market. Collectors look for coins that have traveled across borders. Sometimes these coins end up in American collections when workers from the Middle East bring them back as souvenirs, or when collectors trade for rare world coins. Numismatics. The study of coins is a discipline that connects people across cultures, and the 1 dirham coin is a perfect example. Its roots go back to the Umayyad Caliphate when silver dirhams were first minted around the 7th century. These early dirhams were influenced by Persian and Byzantine coinage styles featuring inscriptions and religious phrases. The word dirham even appears in ancient texts and is still used today. The 1987 issue represents continuity of a currency that survived empire's colonial influences and modern global economies. The design has stayed remarkably consistent with the dalapat symbolizing unity and tradition. The reeded edge is meant to prevent counterfeiting, a practice that dates back to when coins were made of precious metals and people would shave off tiny amounts to melt down for profit. Many 1987 1 dirham coins were struck in the Royal Mint of the United Kingdom under contract arrangements ensuring quality. But small batches have been known to show striking variations. These rare variations are the gems collectors hunt for. The value of such coins can jump from a single dirham to hundreds of dollars depending on condition. Rarity and demand. American collectors often find these coins at estate sales, flea markets, or through bulk world coin lots, where an unsuspecting seller might have no idea of the hidden value. The coin weighs around 6 grams, has a diameter of 23 millimeters, and a thickness that gives it a sturdy feel when held. The sound of a dirham dropping on a marble floor is distinct, a reminder of its metal content that has not changed much since earlier issues in the Middle East. Coin collecting communities. There are stories of 1987 dirhams that have been part of wedding dowries, gifts, and special commemorative events. Some collectors believe that certain issues from 1987 came from experimental dies, though official mint records are limited. This uncertainty adds to the intrigue of hunting for the perfect specimen in pristine, uncirculated condition. The coin has a brilliant luster with sharp details. On the dala pot spout handle and base, the Arabic calligraphy should be clear and without scratches. Circulated coins tell stories of markets, deserts, airports where they changed hands countless times. Collectors love the patina, the tiny marks that speak to a coin's journey across continents. The 1987 coin also sits in a fascinating economic backdrop. The 1980s saw oil boom wealth in the Gulf region, which drove demand for stable coinage. The dirham became a symbol of national pride, stability, and growth. Many American expats who worked in the UAE during this period brought back coins as keepsakes, creating pockets of rare dirham coins spread across the United States. In recent auctions, certain mint-era coins have fetched surprising prices, especially those with misaligned dies or planchet flaws. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC occasionally certify these dirham coins, adding to their credibility. And market value, a certified high-grade MS-65 or higher can command a premium. The population of certified coins remains low, which means that if you find a high-grade 1987 dirham, you hold a piece of history that is both rare and valuable. The market for world coins in America has grown with online marketplaces and collector groups sharing knowledge about obscure finds. The 1 dirham 1987 coin is a perfect example of how a small foreign coin can spark big interest among collectors who appreciate not just the metal, but the stories they carry. This fascination with coins that crossed oceans and cultures connects people who might never meet, but share the same excitement of uncovering hidden treasures. You might wonder how to spot a valuable 1987. 1 dirham coin, check the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for clean strikes, clear details on the dollar pot, and crisp Arabic script. Examine the edges for any signs of clipping or reading variations. Look at the fields, the flat areas of the coin, for doubling or unusual marks, which might indicate a mint error. Always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints, which can lower their grade. Store valuable coins in acid-free holders away from humidity and direct sunlight. The history of the dirham does not stop at 1987, but this particular year has a special place in the timeline, representing a period of growth, modernization, and cultural pride. The connection to American collectors shows how coins become ambassadors of history, small tokens that carry massive stories. When you hold a 1987 1 dirham, you hold a link to trade caravans, ancient markets, global workers, and the families who saved these coins for future generations. So, next time you see a pile of old coins, take a closer look. That dull silver coin might just be a 1987 1 dirham, waiting to tell its story and reward your curiosity with a piece of hidden history.